Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing good. So we were just going through this credit card fraud detection series, and we were just trying to analyze about this respective one, right? So up till now, what we have done, we have imported out all the not all the libraries, but the libraries which we will be using at the initial level, and we had set down a few parameters for our visualization stuff, so that afterwards, once we are done with the data analysis and everything, once we go with the visualization, we don't find any problem or anything while dealing out with the data, right? That's what we have done up till now. So moving further, what I would do, I would just start reading up my data. So let's say df is a very general name which we use. So df is equal to pd dot read csv file. So if first of all, I'll recommend you, if you haven't watched out my previous two videos about this credit card fraud detection, so I would recommend you first go and watch out those two videos, because there I have told how to upload the data and how to work with a Google Colab if you are new onto it. Right, so my data is already uploaded on my Google Colab notebook. Now it's the time that I'll be reading that particular data. Fine. So my file name is, one second, let me check, creditcard.csv. creditcard.csv, and I will be running this out. Okay, error tokenizing data, CXP information line, so 51. Okay, get me a minute, I will just check out the data. Okay, what I would do, I would just very simply open from this folder. Credit card, right? So go on to my desktop and go for my credit card. Where is it? Yeah. What I'm trying to do is that I am simply trying to check in my data from my real data over here, right? Because here it is showing this something as an error. I will just run this once again over here. Creditcard.csv, error tokenizing data, C, error expected. Okay, let's try to check it also once. 31 fields in line to 9 to 4, so 51. Okay, yeah, so here we have the data. Okay, as I told, the data is quite very much large. Okay, here goes. What was the number of that particular row? 2924. Okay. Okay, 2924, this particular field, what have happened into this? Let's see. No, I don't think so this creates out any sort of a issue or anything, because whole my data is like this only, and it is even filled over here as well. It was 2923. Okay, there are some duplicates as well. Let's check this. Oh, I just hope that this one is completely okay. What was 2924, so 51. Actually, the thing is the data is too much of it's like here you're having multiple rows of a similar data, right? Like this 2924, this is having multiple rows, but again we can't to remove these, because the values which we have up into these are very different from each other, right? The things which we are having up over here, the values which we are having, those are quite very different from each other. So if any sort of a thing like this occurs up over, so there we just simply maybe just use up some stuffs, okay, where we just like see, as in into this respective thing they have mentioned about using up some more terminators. So let's do one thing, let's quickly give it a try and let's see how does this works. Okay, this is it like this, and what I would do, I would, yeah, that is it, I would just try to run this once. Now see what is actually happening. We are getting up a warning over here that the error bad lines argument that has been deprecated, it will be removed in a future version, right? So maybe whatever the future version we will be using, it will be removed, but for now this has been actually resolved, right? So sometimes these things might happen up into the complete analysis of yours, that you have to remove up these error bad lines, you have to terminate up the lines, right? You even have to use a separator too, so that's completely okay, right? I would just try to check in the first of all the head of my data. Okay, now this looks so bad. I know, because as I told, the data which we are having, that's not good at all, that's not really good. I will just close this now. Fine, next we will be using the shape. First of all, I will try to check what's the shape of my data. Okay, so I am having 2,90,630 rows and one column. Okay, actually, you know, this separator, I would just first of all do one thing, I would remove these two things from here. Okay, now I would just simply do this thing. Right, now my data looks a little bit more fine actually, because we were having a lot of fields into our data, but the data which I was having, it was showing me just one field. It means that it has taken all of the things into one single column only, but rather we were having 31 columns into our data. If you go over my real data and maybe check out the whole thing, right? So here down the line you will just see that we are having up a total 31 ones, right? So I will just go back to my place, right? So 2,90,627 rows and the 31 columns, that's the exact shape of my complete data. I would even try to check in the null values. Df dot is null dot sum. I would just try to get in the sum of the null values if we have any. So yeah, down the line here from 24 till this class thing, we are having up a little bit of null values, means 1 to 1 to null values, not more. And you know, like you can just apply one more method, df dot is null dot, I would just put the brackets, is null dot any. This as well helps us to check, do we have any null values in our data? So see, false, 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 and here you get that yeah, you have it in some of your respective columns. Right, so this is one another method how you can find out about the null values into your complete data, into your respective data. This is the the method which you use out. Okay, so that is enough, that is it, that is it, that is it, right? So what are we now doing is, I would just once again give you an idea. So what are we trying to do is here, we are simply trying to first of all read out my data. Previously when my data has been read, so there it was giving me some sort of the issues, some sort of the problems. So we just simply used up this error bad lines, and I had set that to as a false. Right, so maybe whatever the bad lines, error bad lines were there, I set that as false, so it won't create out any issue while resolving up my or while going through my data. Fine. Next we're having, I would just read out my CSV file. So accordingly it has read and we have just simply got the head. So now everything is quite okay here. We are having 5 rows and total 31 columns here. Going with my shape thing, so we are having 2,90,627 rows, 31 columns. We have null values also into my complete data. Right. So I hope up till this particular point it's pretty clear to you how to read the data, how to check about the shape, the null values and everything, right? So from further into the next video we will be again starting out with sort of some good analysis too for my data, and we will be further putting up some more visualizations and functions and everything for my data, right? So I hope you might have enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, do share this video with your friends, to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe out my channel. We'll see you there in the next video.